The race, I think, takes its energy from the city, and the Roadrunners Club, the organization there, you've got a great team behind it, a team that puts their heart and soul into it. And to make your race, if you want to have a good road race, it's not easy, and I think it's taken them years of work, and well, you look at the early days of New York City Marathon when it was kind of not taken too seriously, but when Fred LeBeau and Alan Steinfeld and the New York Roadrunners crew took it seriously and moved it outside into the city. Fred came down, invited Frank Shorter and I to duke it out in New York, in the first 5 borough race, and we all said, "Huh, we're gonna run through the streets of New York? What is this?" And but it was there's a great feeling to running through the streets, and you literally have to run through the streets of the city to make a road race successful, I think. What was it like? And the experience of running in New York was a mind boggler. I didn't know where I was going. And I was alone by halfway, and but I loved it. I loved running over the bridges and the Queensboro Bridge and coming into the park. And it was a beautiful day for running. It was cool, sunny, dry, and I came close to breaking the American record that day. So it was a great feeling to it. And I was like running by park benches around 5 minute mile pace or something like that, and just cranking out. And I think we ran up some steps, and it was like, but the way I always felt about New York, it was kind of like running cross country, which I've always liked. I like the kind of changing, turning corners, and the different neighborhoods and the people of New York. What you really sense is the different neighborhoods and the people of New York, and they love the race. The people of New York love the marathon, and they're so close to the runners, and they're so psyched up about this race. Lots of spectators. That's a big part of road racing. It's a big part of it.
I think there are three things that make it special. One is New York City. There's no other city like it. People want to come here as a destination, but then more importantly, the fabulous start that can't be duplicated anywhere on the Verrazano Bridge. And then finally, it's the people of the city. And we get close to 2 million people along the roadway who are shouting and screaming their lungs out, encouraging everybody from the first runner to the last runner at 10 hours. And that's what people come away with. They experience something they never experienced in another place, that they're a star of a giant show that's performing on Broadway. And they also have expectations which are low, because New York City is supposed to be a cold place. People are not hospitable. And they get just the opposite. So what they come away with is twice what they expected. And they just walk away on a high and want to come back year after year and talk to their friends to come back. And that's why I think we have over 100,000 people who wish to apply, and we finally get only 70,000, and from now we only take 30,000.
Con calma, eh? Bellissima!
Forse io sono stato quello che li ha vissuti con meno disagio, era certamente molto caldo, ero allenato per cui mi ero preparato in Italia durante l'estate, quindi ho vissuto bene la corsa. È stata per me comunque un'opportunità per testare me stesso quando gli altri sono andati prima. Beh, un po' si ero preoccupato perché mi dispiaceva perdere la prima piazza, però nel momento in cui mi ero fermato avevo anche recuperato energie ed ero tranquillo di poter comunque giocare ancora le mie carte per vincere la corsa. In televisione in Italia ero alla terza notizia, dopo il Papa, dopo il presidente Reagan, c'era la mia vittoria alla Maratona di New York, quindi è stata una cosa veramente popolare. Da allora vivo ancora di questa fama e mi fa veramente piacere. Beh, è una corsa molto famosa, molto conosciuta al mondo e quindi avevo voglia di provarci, quindi nel 1982 ho fatto la mia prima esperienza. Forse perché mangiamo tanta pasta e si sa che la pasta è il carburante principale per il podista, ma a parte gli scherzi, la scuola italiana di maratona è nata su delle situazioni tecniche molto evolute negli anni 80, quindi probabilmente abbiamo rapporti simili di varie scuole di allenamento.
Fellows right behind them. About 200 yards behind them on the same path.
Here it is. Number one, give me that one here. Maybe two.
Running
That's it. You hand it right to me.
And that gift to
Non gettate, già che o cominci in aria.
How you doing? Nice job. Good luck. I'm sure. Thank you.
Show up.
How are you?
Nice tie.
I was already very secure and relaxed because I knew I was faster than him in the sprint, and I was stronger, so I was not worried at all. The only time I worry a lot was when I took a wrong way because I didn't know how long it still was to finish. Especially in that point of the race, that is almost the end. You have to. It's important to know who is stronger than who, especially if you are running with some a partner. So I really was focused, and as I thought the day before that I was going to win. And I have never done before that I can say, hey, tomorrow I'm going to win, because people will think, yes, you are a liar. I was lucky because it still was a little bit long way, like a half mile, and that was enough for me to catch Benjamin.
boss. Thank you very much.
Pleasure meeting you.
Nice to meet
See you
you.
around.
Thank you. You can stay in high altitude and you don't have a good training, so it is useless. Mhm.
With Fred LeBeau in 1992. Gives me great pleasure to introduce
Flag holders.
It brought a lot of confidence to my life, and I had a lot of people who wanted to be like Tekla, and I'm proud that it changed a lot of lives for the other people, of which I was not able to reach just by just talking, but through the action. And New York is my second home, and I love New York because of the people. It means a lot because to be a woman and to inspire even the other young women is something special. And not only in Kenya. Whenever I go nearly almost in the world, they normally tell me, Tekla, you have done a lot for the women. And you know very well that we women, we don't have such a encouragement like men. I'm sorry to say this, but it's there in the society. But it's always pleasure to do something special for my colleagues.
Come on here, Greg.
You're not running, go behind. Okay.
8 to 10 only. 8 to 10 only.
8 to 10, move up. 8 to 10.
The New York City Marathon will always be the #1 marathon for me because it really made me a marathon runner. And today, the New York City Marathon is the most prestigious marathon, not only in America, but all over the world. There are people wherever you go, in Europe, in South America, all over the world, they know about the New York City Marathon. And it's very hard to describe how you feel coming up that last hill in Central Park because the New York City Marathon is very special. The people along the course the whole way are giving you so much support and they are cheering you on, and even if you look awful they tell you you're looking great and you can do it, and then you finally get that last quarter mile in Central Park and you hear all the noise and people are cheering and clapping. It gives me goosebumps, and you really have to experience this to know what it's all about.
I like to think it's our organization, but really it's the city of New York and its people. Many marathons around the world have copied much of what we're doing, from barcodes to computer scanning to timing and scoring devices. But the one thing that no marathon in the country or the world can match is the vitality of the city. It's the ethnicity of Bay Ridge, Bedford-Stuyvesant, the Hasidic section in Brooklyn, the sounds of Harlem, the elegance of Central Park South, and the serenity of Central Park. It cannot be matched. And of course, the over 2 million people that line the route of the New York City Marathon, the 3-hour network television coverage, the excitement that this city generates. And that's what's so special about the New York City Marathon.
Look right.
It brings people from around the world, this year from about 90 different countries, and of course around the country. It's a wonderful spirit as they go through the various neighborhoods of our city, and they're greeted by the people there. I suppose something in excess of 10,000 volunteers participate in this effort. And this year especially, Fred Lebow is running. And that makes it more special. And Fred is the inspiration for the marathon. Fred, who is ill, but whose cancer is in remission, is going to run today. And I think that makes it very special. He is an inspiration to many, many people.
For me, it was a different marathon than the other marathons that I've run, but when I think back of all the New York City marathons that I've run, this was the best one. It was the slowest, but it was the best, and I really got the chance to see what the New York City Marathon is like, and yesterday I got the chance to experience that. So many people stayed out there to cheer Fred and myself on, and I'm very happy that I was able to do this marathon with Fred, and I'm very proud of him. He did great.
Well, I was very surprised running at a 5.5 hours pace. I expected everybody to be at home. The crowds all over the city were heavy, particularly in Central Park and First Avenue and the finish line. There were mobs of people. I could not believe. I was shocked.
Ladies and gentlemen, runners of the world, friends, members of the New York Road Runners Club, and the New York City Marathon Tribute Committee. At this time, it's a great pleasure for all of us gathered to see the official unveiling of one of the great human beings in the world, none other than Fred Lebow. Please pull and unveil Fred.
Fred Lebow was a New Yorker. The idea began with a very, very small race for about 60 people. Got very little attention, wasn't known, but it was his idea and he executed it. And now it's 25 years later, and when it's run a few weeks from now, there will be 30,000 people from all over the world coming to New York City to participate in the largest marathon in the world. It all began as Fred's idea 25 years ago. That is a living legacy that few people can claim. It's a legacy given to this city that the city is very, very grateful for. It gives the city a tremendous amount of attention. It brings economic benefits. It advertises the city in the best possible light all over the world. And if it weren't for Fred, that would not be so. But it does something else that we should remember. It saves lives. Fred Lebow's idea that he executed has saved countless numbers of lives. It's made people healthier who participate. It's made people healthier who watch the participants and are challenged themselves to run, to exercise, to take care of themselves.
When I hit 59th Street Bridge, and I knew that I had to start picking up Shahanga and Smith, who are now well onto First Avenue. I think when I hit First Avenue, and I was running at about 450 mile pace, and Smith was going away from me, then I knew that there was nothing much I could do at this stage. At 23, when we went into the park, he started doing the turns, and of course out of sight, out of mind. You just have to keep believing yourself. And then I noticed at about the around 23, 24, I noticed that he was not running the tangents. And that's when I knew now that although we're still running the same pace, I was actually not having to cover the distance. And that became a positive. And then when he didn't look back to see where I was, I felt that was another positive. So suddenly I was starting to build positives and believing he was thinking negative. And so when we came out of the park and up Central Park West and the slight hill getting up into Columbus Circle, and I saw him take a little stagger, and I thought, well, maybe it's the wet road, maybe it's tired, but I'll believe it's tired. And that's when I think I became more the hunter, and he was the hunted.
He didn't win anything but the last 400 meters is all he's going to win. Rod Dixon, what a performance. The crowd going absolutely wild here at the finish line at Central Park.
You don't win an Olympic gold medal off not developing years.
All the lead vehicles, Rod Dixon's in sight. Rod Dixon inside. There's Jeff Smith coming over the last rise. Dixon, a tremendous competition here at New York 1983. Rod Dixon, living in Reading, Pennsylvania, grew up in New Zealand, sprinting home to the finish. Rod Dixon, a spectacular racing effort. Face in agony, Rod Dixon, 2:08:58 unofficially. And here comes Jeff Smith, pain on his face, agony, 2:09:07 unofficially. And he hits the pavement at the end. Rod Dixon in victory. Hands uplifted to the sky, thanking the Lord.
These two men's faces. The beauty of Rod Dixon getting the sweet moment of preparation. He's left.
Hi, good morning.
Bonjour, c'est moi qui vais gagner le marathon. J'adore New York. Bye.
France, Paris, ouais, ok.
Tomorrow morning. It's not that weird, I swear.
Really wonderful. This is a tremendous showcase for the city of New York. The people of the city get the opportunity to show how much they care about you. There'll be over 1 million of them watching you. You have my best wishes. Do well, enjoy it, and you're all winners. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We have a little bit of a bottleneck by the trucks. We want to thank all the volunteers who are out here helping us. Thank you very much. Welcome to the most famous marathon in the world.
Mi piace tutto, quindi non critico niente perché è una gara bellissima. Io sono veramente affascinata da questa competizione e voglio sempre correrla ogni anno. Nel 1998, avendo vinto, è stata un'esperienza bellissima. Io ero partita per Ma in Italia c'è sempre stata una grande tradizione per le corse di lunga distanza e quindi credo che questo faccia sì appunto che ci siano tutti questi grandi atleti e molti di loro effettivamente si distinguono in tutte le strade del mondo. Ho provato una sensazione bellissima, come di volare proprio. Mi sentivo di camminare a un metro dal terreno. E finalmente pensavo dentro di me ho raggiunto il mio grande sogno.
It's Salazar. Alberto Salazar, known as the rookie at the Greater Boston Track Club, running international competition since he's been 15 years old. And this guy's got talent. A former NCAA cross-country champion. I can't tell you how unbelievably amazing that is. Here comes our second place finisher over the top of the wall. He is really sprinting.
Now, I happen to think that New York City is very special, and I'm proud that it is the marathon capital of the world now. Big marathons, little marathons, mini marathons, they're wonderful. And runners from around the world come here to the city. I also think that New York City, like all large cities, particularly international cities, is a city in which the people talk faster, think faster, walk faster, and run faster. And I'm proud to be its mayor.
Probably the most special moment for me in New York was in 1981. I'd set a goal for myself of breaking the world record, and my training had gone very well. I just was very focused on that goal, and everything went perfect, and the race went perfect, and I knew I was going to break the record with several miles to go, but with a quarter mile to go, when I saw what my time was there, and I knew that in a little less than a minute I was going to actually break that world record unless I fell on my face or something. It was a tremendous feeling to run that last quarter mile, knowing that I was about to become a world record holder. And I can remember seeing Fred LeBeau cheering me on, waving me on with his arms crazily with about 30 yards to go, and I'll never forget that.
30 seconds left for a world record performance. He's gonna do it! He's gonna get it!
I think it's a metaphor for life because they probably felt to begin with that's not something they can accomplish. They set a goal which is way out there to run 26.2 miles, be dedicated to train every day or most every day during the week and then the year. When they finally come to the race and climb up the last quarter of a mile, they can't believe they've done it, but as soon as they cross the line, they know they have. And what happens for the next few days or few months, they look at things differently and they approach things differently. And I get hundreds of letters from people who said it's literally changed my life. And I think it's a commitment that they made and they realized it. And it's those 2 million people along the way that helped them realize it and are part of that dream. They just carry that wherever they go, and we all do.